We are speaking with Chris Farrell, Director of Investigations at Judicial Watch. Chris, the former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted by a federal grand jury for lying to Congress. Based on the evidence that you have seen, what are the chances of a conviction of the former FBI Director, do you suppose?
Well, if he's held to the strict meaning of the law, it should be a relatively easy case to prosecute for both counts, because it's clear that Comey has perjured himself. There's multiple instances where he's done so. They're focusing principally on his testimony of September 30th, 2020, where he appears to have lied about his authorizing his deputy to make selective, sort of controlled leaks to the media to manipulate the media narrative in order to continue the never-ending series of attacks on President Trump. And then secondly, that those actions and others by Mr. Comey were obstructions of justice, that there was an attempt to unlawfully manipulate or in some way forestall the legitimate prosecution of justice. And certainly there's no one more, emblematic of that kind of behavior than Jim Comey. He's a dirty cop.
So the lying to Congress is a specific incident, and it's on tape. You can see where Senator Ted Cruz in that hearing actually asked the question of James Comey. And it gets to this point, and I suspect the senator he's a smart guy. I suspect that he was sort of setting this up, trying to get to a specific point where it's either Andy McCabe is lying or James Comey is lying.
Right, and you see in Comey's response, he's very cute. He doesn't answer the question directly. You know, it's a simple, basic interrogative with a yes/no answer required. You know, Comey's a slick operator. He's a very deceitful, sort of manipulative game player who loves to engage in semantic double talk, and he did it there as well. But his intention to deceive while under oath is indisputable.
The other charge, obstruction of justice, seems a little bit broader and maybe a little more amorphous, I guess. It seems like there is other evidence which could be brought to bear besides the one incident that we've seen where Senator Cruz was asking that question, right? Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, well, there's the one instance itself. So lying under oath is an obstructive act, right? That's in and of itself. But if you look at the pattern and practice, the conduct of Comey, frankly, over decades, he's a certified liar. This guy will say and do anything. He also is very coy and cute in his ways in which he's conducted a leaking campaign against the Trump administration. And so whether it's the January meeting in the Oval Office with President Obama, Vice President Biden, and a few other characters, all the way up to his leaving Trump Tower and hopping in his vehicle and writing up a memo about how he lied to President Trump, to his leaking the memo or leaking other information to his Columbia Law School professor buddy, who was then used as a cutout to the New York Times. Comey has repetitively, over years, done all sorts of little stunts and games to undermine the legitimately elected president of the United States and advance his own interests over the oath that he took.
Very good. Chris Farrell, Director of Investigations at Judicial Watch. Thank you, sir. Thank you for talking to us on One American News. It's a pleasure.
Thanks very much.